Currently, SEI right now, obviously for good reason, is on a lot of people's radars, but the real question has not yet been answered directly. It's the kind of video that we like to make. How many SEI tokens specifically would it take to become a crypto millionaire if you were to acquire them at a lower price and then cash them out at the height of this crypto bull cycle? Most people throw around some pretty wild guesses and they tend to overestimate, sometimes even underestimate the math. In this video, though, we're going to be quantitative. We're going to break it down with real numbers and realistic scenarios. And of course, all of the variables related to this project that ought to be considered. I'm going to show you a plan that you can actually understand. So stick with me. Based on our projections, we're counting down exactly how many SEI you need to acquire today in order to be a crypto millionaire at the height of this bull cycle. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest, okay? SEI or otherwise, I wish you well. But I'm not a financial or investment advisor, nor is this video official financial or investment advice. So as I've already mentioned many times on this channel, SEI as a project is all about finances. It is a financial app chain. Its main focus is on DeFi. However, it also, of course, plays an active role in the blockchain gaming sector. Both DeFi and gaming need fast processing when it comes to their transactions, which is exactly what SEI offers with its parallel chain setup. Let's talk about what that is, because a traditional blockchain processes transactions one at a time. This is in a serial fashion, and that totally contrasts with what SEI does. SEI can process in parallel multiple transactions at the same time. That's where the parallel comes into play, right? This is exactly what makes SEI fast. And by the way, both DeFi and gaming, again, need this. In fact, it is absolutely essential. To find out more about Sei Network, you can check out this recent video that we did on the project. A link is going to be found in the description as well. But let's, for starters, take a look at exactly what's been happening recently in terms of updates, in terms of news, which has actually been pretty good for the Sei network. And we're going to start with Monaco, which is bringing Wall Street on chain. And this is despite the fact that the current DEX landscape is fragmented. And I say this because it cannot support institutional markets. But this is where Monaco enters the picture, and here's exactly what it offers in order to bring Wall Street on chain. So features include a shared liquidity layer with a unified order book, instant execution, and sub 400 millisecond settlement on SEI. Monaco advertises itself as a Wall Street grade trading layer, and it offers deeper liquidity and tighter spreads, which of course leads to better pricing on every available trade. Among other things, this should bring some stock trading on chain on SEI and should do so relatively easily. SEI is also very active in terms of bringing RWAs, or real world assets, on chain. Securitize is the leader in this particular market segment, and so far it has already tokenized over $3 billion in assets. And therefore it's no wonder that BlackRock's Biddle money market fund uses it as tokenization partner. So that means we're in the big leagues now. Securitize brings the tokenized Apollo Diversified Credit Fund, or ACRED, to SEI. Now, Apollo is a different story. It's one of the world's leading asset managers with $800 billion in assets under management. And that means now you have access to Apollo's diversified global credit strategy on SEI. It's also now available on RWA.xyz. This is the industry standard data platform for tokenized RWAs. And then, of course, I also mentioned gaming on SEI. If we look back at the last year, gaming has increased by 600% on this project. And we have a few examples here, including Kindred, which brings 25 IPs or intellectual properties to SEI, 25. And this adds a potential 100 million fans with exposure to the project. Plus, there's also an increase in the number of games available on SEI. And then, of course, with the Genius Act all of a sudden becoming a reality, stablecoins are taking center stage. The landscape for them is improving. And now we have PayPal's native stablecoin, which is PYUSDO, is coming to SEI. We have over 430 million PayPal users worldwide that use this as an on-chain payment standard. And so Layer 0 is in the picture with this and offers that cross-chain technology. Quick shout out to Surge here. This is our risk-free prediction game that's available on Telegram. And in this game, you just swipe left or right. You can kind of think Hamster Combat or even Tinder. You're swiping to guess whether a crypto asset pumps or dumps. And in the process, you earn rewards, and actually, hopefully, you can pick up some market skills as well while you're at it in the form of technical analysis. They've also kicked off a weekly giveaway. It's a contest that is super simple. Every week, there's a coin of the week. This week, it is Tau, T-A-O, and all you have to do is swipe to find it in the Surge app. Then once you see it, screenshot it and then drop it under their tweet. One random reply wins $50 in USDT. It is super easy, but in order to win and have a chance at winning, of course, you have to at least participate. So check out Surge, have some fun swiping, and maybe snag some cool prizes along the way. Check out the links, the URLs in the description of this video below to participate. Now, before we take a look at kind of the real technical analysis, let's just first take a look at the current price of the SEI token. It's sitting at around 30 cents at the time of this recording, which is up just under 7% in the last 7 days. It's pretty good. And that 30-cent marker right now comes with a $1.8 billion market cap. Out of the 10 billion SEI tokens, we have 6.7 billion already in circulation. So easy math, 67% in circulation. Sei Network does have monthly unlocks that continue all the way until August 2032. Just make sure that you're aware of that. Over the last 3 months, SEI has lost some ground, but I would say it's still overall in a good space in terms of momentum. Yahoo Finance even sees a potential quintupling from here as a possibility. According to their analysts, SEI has not yet broken out. And what they're telling us is that the recent support was at 17.6 cents. That was back in June. Right now, I do not expect SEI to get this low again. The resistance realistically is at 38 cents. That's what we saw back in July. So if we see SEI ETFs approved, for example, that would be a major positive catalyst. Then the next target can easily kind of really be anywhere between 50 cents and even $1. And currently there are 2 SEI ETF filings, one of which is from Canary Capital for a staked SEI ETF. And then, of course, as we've covered on this channel, the other one is from 21 Shares. Keep in mind that the SEC recently asked various firms to withdraw their 19B4 filings. These are not needed anymore, which indicates a potential fast-track process to this whole procedure, meaning that faster processing is now possible. It's now more likely. But of course, there's also the government shutdown, which we have to consider, which is probably going to slow down approvals despite kind of the positive with that 19B4 stuff. And what happened on Friday with the Litecoin ETF deadline that the SEC missed, we saw the fallout there. So look, in general, the SEI tokenomics looks solid. However, for the price of SEI really to go up, it needs that catalyst in the form, I would argue, of those ETF approvals. This Altcoin Buzz Spotlight video is sponsored by Bitget. Because if you ever wanted an all-in-one platform for crypto, or even stocks, by the way, you've got to check out Bitget. Honestly, this exchange is changing the game, but it's much more than just an exchange. It's got spot trading, futures, margin, and even copy trading. Plus, it also supports a lot of coins and trading pairs, all with competitive fees. Security is taken very seriously too, with proof of reserves and a protection fund, together meaning that you can trade with peace of mind. No other Tier 1 exchange protects your security this well. And the coolest thing is that Bitget is moving towards being a universal platform, meaning that you can now trade tokenized US stocks like Apple, Nvidia, right on the blockchain, all by using USDC without needing a traditional broker or even leading the exchange for another platform. And if you're into futures, then Bitget's stock futures let you speculate on price movements with up to 10 times leverage using a composite index of stock tokens. It's super beginner friendly and a perfect way to explore the market. Getting started is super easy. Sign up, do your ID verification, deposit USDT or USDC, and you're ready to trade. By signing up to Bitget, you also have the chance to earn bonuses of up to $6,200. Try Bitget today and get those bonuses. Here's how. Check out the links in the description of this video, but you can sign up to Bitget today using links for global users, for UK users, or this one if you're in mainland Europe. Check out the links in the description of this video. All right, so how many SEI tokens is it going to take to become a crypto millionaire? Full disclosure, when I did this calculation, the price of SEI was at 29 cents, so that's the figure that we're going to use. That just means we're a little bit more conservative, if anything. At 29 cents, $1 million is going to require 3.348 million SEI. That's at current prices, or 29-cent prices. Let's start out slowly here and consider what our friend and our trader Ali Martinez on X has to say. They're suggesting that the next goal is at 34 cents. At a 34-cent SEI price, you would need 2.92 million SEI to have $1 million worth of SEI. But we're getting more and more optimistic now. Michael Van de Pop on X sees SEI hitting 65 cents, something in that range. At that price, of course, we need 1.538 million SEI, and you're a millionaire by the end of the year. Simple math here, but for good measure, of course, we have to consider $1. Easy calculation. At $1, you'd need 1 million SEI to have $1 million worth of SEI. CryptoPenka on X expects a $2 price, meaning you would need 500,000 SEI to achieve millionaire status. And then Quantum Ascend goes a step further. He expects $2.65. At those numbers, you would need 377,360 SEI. So that's already a good 2 times higher than its all-time high, which for context was $1.14 back in March of 2024. The best case scenario here that we're looking at in terms of predictions is Coin News. They expect a 10x from where we are here. That would put SEI, of course, at $2.90. That's where we would need 344,830 SEI. Now, I couldn't find any higher predictions, legitimate ones of SEI hitting, for example, $5 as a maximum, but let's just entertain that as a possibility. With that number, you would require 200,000 SEI, and you'd be a millionaire once SEI hits $5. Again, we are at 30 cents. Let me know where you think the price of SEI will max out in this cycle and beyond. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you're looking for the more lively discussions, then join us on social media, on X and on Discord. You can find those links in the description of this video.